Thank you for joining me for the last section of brand protection on Amazon is a lot more than just dealing with counterfeit products. What I want to talk to you about is your own factories and your own distribution channels. These are, by and large, your number one threats when it comes to unauthorized sales and infringing sales occurring on Amazon. What you need to know is that for your factories, specifically factories located in China, you need to make sure that you have a contract with these factories that accomplish two things, and both are equally important. Number one, your contract with your factory in China must, 100% must, have some responsibility on the factory owner if your intellectual property rights escape the factory. Whether the factory owner runs more products, a factory down the block, they must protect your IP rights as if it's their own. And if they don't, you want to have something in your contract that puts the cost of recouping your IP rights on your own factory. The second thing every contract with a factory outside the United States should have is enforceability in the country where the factory is located. Factories in China do not care if you have a judgment against them from the state of California, the state of New York, or any place else in the United States. They know it's impossible to enforce a judgment obtained in a U.S. court against them in China. So put the contract's enforceability provision in the home country where the factory is located. We have learned the best place in the country to enforce your contracts is in Beijing. Number one, put it in your contract. If you also want to learn more about intellectual property law, specifically in China, we wrote a book specifically on understanding intellectual property law in China when it comes to selling products on Amazon in the United States. Last but not least, your distribution channels in the United States and anywhere else in the world. Those agreements with your authorized distributors, just like your contracts with your factories in China, Vietnam, Thailand, or wherever, you need to make sure if that distributor allows your products to go outside your intended distribution chain, that distributor is responsible. The way you can do this, you need to be able to track which products are going to which distributors. And when you do your test buys on Amazon, be able to use those numbers to identify where the products escaped your intended distribution network. By doing that, you will know which distributors you may choose to cut off. You can then use that information to enforce their contractual obligation to cover the costs of recouping control over your products. If you'd like to learn more, contact me for a free consultation. In advance of our meeting with any brand, large or small, we analyze your listings on Amazon, identify the unauthorized sellers, and at that initial meeting, we will have ideas you can implement right away to regain control of the sales of your product, specifically when it comes to Amazon.com.